Good morning and welcome to the pre-market live show. It's Wednesday, January 29th, and the heat map looks like completely flat. Nvidia is down a hair. AVGO is up. The semiconductors look like they're up a little. Apple just went down a hair. Google's flat. Microsoft's flat. Meta and Amazon are up a hair, and Tesla's down a bit, but just a tiny bit there. So we'll go through them bad boys, see if they set up a little bit, and we'll go through our Jolie's jumpers and see what's moving first. So let's check that out. Let me get to them bad boys real quick here. Jolie's jumpers, where are you? Here we go. I see them. FFIE is the first one here. And all information presented here is for educational and informational purposes only. It's not intended as financial advice. So always do your due diligence. Let's check out FFIE and see what it's doing. It looks like it is up a little bit this morning. Let me see. It did run. Today's the 29th, I said. Yep. And yesterday it was moving. Today 168 to 184, and it's back to 154. It closed at 167 yesterday, so it did run up there early, and it came back down lower. So HAO, we were talking about this yesterday, and it did run up off that split, and I said that let's keep an eye on it. Let's see if it's doing anything yet. It did close at 291 and it ran up to what? It went to from 253 to 450 yesterday. And today 271 to 290. It's at 275, not looking bad. Keep an eye on it. It could try to run back up there. Not looking too bad to try to curl through. So we'll take a look at HAO. And how about that JG? That one was moving as well the last few days. Trying to anyway. It was up at the top the other day. JG, and let's see. It does look like it could be pulling back there. It did spike up the last week on the 20th, or no, the 27th was Monday. It was felt like it was last week, but that was Monday. It ran up big, and JG is kind of just pulling back right there. LGCL. Let's see what LGCL is doing. Lucas. That looks like it's up there. Let's see. LGCL. Oh, yeah, it was running yesterday, 58 to 84, it looks like. And then this morning, 86 to 105. It's at 82. It does look like it might have spiked up there. So just keep your eye and see if it can get running again. MFI, that one's MF International. And this thing's curling up here. Had a nice dip going on. And MFI was running yesterday. It went 79 to 114. It closed at 99. And this morning it went 98 to 99 and then back. So it's at 90 right now. MFI and PHIO. Here we go. PHIO curling up really good, actually. That one looks pretty nice right here. And yeah, it was curling up really good yesterday. It ran 204 to 286, closed at 254. And right now it opened at 243 and it got up to 256. It's at 245. Not looking bad. Keep your eye on that PHIO. That one's looking decent right there. And PWM, let's see what that's doing this morning. PWM, Prestige Wealth, that had that big dip down there. PWM, let's see. Was that yesterday right here? Hold on. I think that's today. That is today. 107 to 166. It's at 114. What it close at yesterday? 133. So it ran up and then came back down. And that's what they like to do. PWM, SLXN. This one had run up pretty big in the after hours yesterday or in the market. I forget. It just ran up. I know that. And let's see what it did. 58 to 167 yesterday. This morning, 173 to 198. It's at 175, so it is a little higher than yesterday. It closed at 158. It's in that channel and not looking bad, so keep an eye on that SLXN as well. And SXTP here, 60 degrees pharmaceuticals. That one just ran up. It was setting up and looking pretty good right there. It looked like it might have had a few more days, but it didn't want to wait. And yesterday it ran 92 to 131. It closed at that 131. Then this morning 140 to 154, and it's back to that 140. It is higher than what it closed at. So SXTP not looking terrible. And TRIB, this one ran up yesterday. It hit that top. Looks like it could be pulling back a hair, but it ran way up there, 92 to 168, and it closed at 120 yesterday. And today it opened at 122. It got up to 125, and it's at 120 again. So that one could try to get rolling up again. We'll have to see. It bounced off that top coming down, and we'll have to look at it. And that YIBO had that huge run up the other day, and it looks like it's trying to. Let's see what it's doing here, because yesterday it was 310 to 674. It closed at 474, and then this morning it's opened at 509, but came back to 453. So it is hitting that top area. We'll have to see what it looks like after that huge run up. And that is YIBO. So there you go with your Joe Lee's jumpers. Thank you, Asian Joe Lee. Greatly appreciate them. And let me take a look real quick at our laptop lowdowns. I know I have them right around here somewhere. Here we go. And let's look at that EVTV real quick and see where it's at this morning. And these ones are just great ones to keep an eye on. And there you go. EVTV ran up this morning, like I was saying. These things are great ones to keep an eye on if you because they will bounce, and this thing's up over 30% right now. It looks like. What it do? Yesterday it came down 56. It closed at 57. This morning it opened at 147, and now it's at 89. So it did gap up big time right there. EVTV, there you go. There's a laptop lowdown that just got running. So, like I said, this is a great list. Keep an eye on them. We go over them in the mornings, and they're down here at the bottom, and you know they're going to bounce up. This GDHG is another China one that I've watched. I was looking at. It took a nice dip yesterday, and we'll take a look at that today because yesterday's dip was really good there to the bottom. And if these China ones want to pop off, that will probably want to do it. This GRO is a fairly new one, it looks like. When that start over here? November 27th, but I can tell it's just been in the bottom, and it looks like this one's going to be bottoming out. I generally don't like them that new, but we'll have to take a look at this GRO. It could be a good one right there. HYZN is like a motor company, I know that, or a auto parts company in the U.S., and it was down to 2 cents. I know we've traded this one before, caught some poppers, and it's just down there right now. And I've watched that one because it's not looking bad. And that icon we've been watching on here and on the night show, it is looking just trying to curl up, not looking crazy good yet, but it is trying to get set up. It looks like the bottom's in there, so keep an eye on that ICON and IGMS. This one, IGM Biosciences, is down in the basement, curling up. Keep an eye on this one, too. This one's looking pretty good down here. So, yeah, it just crossed through, and you'll probably see that one try to run fairly soon there. IGMS and IZM. Let's see what that one's doing down in that basement, and it was trying to curl up the other day. It bounced off the MACD, came back down. Could be its bottom yesterday at that 128. It's at 131. Keep an eye on this one as well. IZM, that one's looking pretty good. MGOL, let's look at that. MGO Global. And this one's going to be trying to get out of that basement. It could try to roll off that MACD right there and get cruising. Hold on, MGOL. Here we go. Yeah, I would take a look at this. Isn't this a China one? No, I think this one is all the time too. This is the USA Advertising Agency, and this one is hitting that MACD. It could roll right off there and really pop. It looks like yesterday that 12 cents could be its bottom right there. You're at 14 for MGOL. So you might want to take a look at that one right there. PBM. There we go. PBM. And this one's hitting that bottom, and that was a nice dip there yesterday. So I'll look at that. It doesn't look like it's doing anything just yet this morning, hitting that line. So I'll look at PBM and PWM. Prestige Wealth we already looked at, and it was trying to bounce back up. That was on the list the other day. RFAC, RF Acquisitions, a shell company, and again, these things like to go from that top all the way down to the basement, and it was bouncing back up yesterday. So keep an eye on this thing, RFAC. It's one that we were looking at. Had that big dip there, and yesterday it went 558 to 866. It closed at 601, so that was a nice little pop up there. And that was RFAC and an RTC. This one's been in the basement down here, and it's a China small cap one. It's at 109. Let me see RTC. And yeah, this one could roll off the MACD as well. So keep an eye on this. And this is one of them China ones. And with the China ones trying to get moving, keep an eye on that one. RTC, SDST, that's Stardust Power. I'm telling you, this thing's down 3 cents, but I think that bottom's in there at that 105. It's at 115. And I think this is going to get set up, guys. SDST. So I would keep an eye on that. It looks pretty good right there to try to run soon. And that's your Stardust Power and SGLY. Let's look at that one because that one's down here, way down there, just pulling back SGLY. And let's see, yeah, it's kind of coming down. We'll see when it bottoms out down there. And STSS, this one is Sharps Technology, took that nice dip. We were looking at this as well. And STSS, we'll see. Did it want to bounce a little bit? It closed at 47 and it's at and that didn't want to bounce. I was looking at it last night. It had that it could bounce look, but it didn't want to. It doesn't look like it doesn't look like it did bounce, is what I'm saying. But it did have that look like it possibly could. That's why I told you guys to look at it in the morning. And WINT is way down here, and it looks like that thing's going to be bottoming out and trying to work its way back up for Wint. And yeah, that one's curling down, curling through, and probably going to try to reverse itself fairly soon. So there you go with our laptop travel list. That laptop lowdown list is always a good one right there, and a lot of great things to look at. So keep your eye on them bad boys. Let's see these three right here. MDB, what's that up to? That Mongo something DB. It is going up there, $2. MDB. And let's see. Oh yeah, it doesn't look too bad. I don't know if it's hitting that top area, so be careful. We'll see if it wants to get into the top, then it'll run a little higher, but that is at MDB and CLS. It's up 352 today, and that one was trying to it was curling, it was going down, and now it looks like it's trying to curl back up here. So it looks like it might be getting in between this channel of where it's at. Obviously 98, but 96 to like 108 area or 104, 104. And that one could get into that channel right there. And MBIS, we looked at Nubius Group. And this thing is setting up, guys. So it did come off that bottom right there, MBIS. And it is running up a little bit today. What is it? At 31. It opened at 31. It got up to 31.49. It's at 30.82 right now, but yesterday it closed at 38 at 30.40. So it's up a little bit. And another one in that channel could get curled up for that. So NBIS, keep an eye on that one right there. Let's take a look at our map right here. And it looks like Apple, Nvidia, and Tesla are down. Google, Meta, Amazon, and are up, and Microsoft might be a little flat, maybe down a hair. Let's take a look and see what's going on with our SPY and big caps here. Our SPY is up 49 cents, and it is just kind of going flat, and it could go either way today, to be honest with you, looking like that. And Apple's down $1.04, but it had that huge run up, and it looks like it's trying to cross through. So Apple is in that channel, and it'll probably be a little healthy pullback. So we'll see if today is a little bit red. Could be, I mean, not real red, just, they're setting up after that big pullback. So they did bounce up yesterday. Amazon's up $1.86. That one's looking good to get up into the top and run up a little bit. So keep your eye on that. Google's up 78 cents and looks a little bit better. Not curled up completely, but it looks a little bit better right there. And Meta, META, that's up 534 and just keeps going up. Remember, I told you at the earnings, but Zuck had something going on. It looked good. Their earnings are today, and that thing wants to run up in the top. Just be careful with the earnings, but we knew that thing was running up big. Microsoft, MSFT, they have their earnings. It's just flat. Be careful with that one. And let's take a look at Nvidia here. That's down 99 cents and just a little bit flat right there. See if it can get moving. It's going to get set up, obviously. It's just taking its time now after that big dip off. And Tesla's down $1.18, and I'm telling you, Tesla's getting set up. They have their earnings as well coming up. When is that? That is today too. So a lot of good earnings. It's a big earnings day. So keep your eyes open. And we'll be playing around these earnings because they're always easier to see before and after. And a lot of earnings are starting to kick off here. So that's Tesla this morning. And let's look at that AMC. It looks like it's just flat. It is setting up there. And GameStop, that's up 4 cents. Unity U is up 3 cents. And Chewy CHWY is up 11 cents. And I'm telling you, that thing's about to curl up into the top and looks really good, guys. So keep your eyes on that. AVGO, that's up $3. And they didn't curl up yet, but they're just trying to hold themselves back up from that big sell-off the other day. MU is finally, I think, bottomed out. It's up $1.62 today. We'll keep an eye on it. TSM up 266 and not curled up, but trying to here. And SMCI, that one's up 41 cents, and I think that one's bottomed out and trying to crawl back up. And that AMD's up $1.52, and I'm telling you, keep an eye on this AMD. It's looking really, really good right there. So you might want to watch that bad boy because they have something going on. I'm not sure what. That's obviously a semiconductor company, and the timing of, I just scrolled down to see the news. Timing of DeepSeek's AI release was interesting, Nancy Tegler, whoever she is from Yahoo. What did I say? I mean, I said it that night. It's amazing that they just waited for Trump to come out with the AI info, and then boom, all of a sudden they had that already in the works. So it was obviously planned. I mean, it's not even a question, guys. It was clearly done. QCOM, QCOM, that's trying to get curled back up and move back up higher. And Intel has earnings, and like I said, it looked much better before something happened that wasn't exactly great here. So I'm not sure what's going on, but it just looked down. It says Intel CEO search in focus as chip maker sets post lower revenue. So whatever that is, it doesn't Intel just created a big problem for AMD. I'm not sure what it is, but yeah, it's going to set up, but like I said, it was setting up before to get blasted off, and then all of a sudden it had to get set up again. I'm not sure what's going on. We'll keep an eye on it. INTC, I'm not saying it can't run. It was looking much better, that's all. And that snow, that was up, and it's still going up, and we had like that the other day. So there you go with that. What's MicroStrategy doing? It's up 380 and trying to get curled back up. And let's see, that MTN, that might be a nice little bounce play. It ran up and took a nice dip yesterday, and it might bounce. So I just wanted to see what that was up to. Nothing, anything crazy there. So there you go with our big cappers and them bad boys. And let me see what's happening over here. We looked at them couple right there. And let's see what else is happening over here. Let me take a look at the news stories. Nasdaq futures rises. ASML, that's right. They shine ahead of the Fed, and the Fed is speaking, and ASML is up $40 off them earnings. We were looking at it last night, and it definitely did bounce off of there. So there you go at ASML bouncing up pretty nice. I'm just scrolling down to see if anything. Intel's earnings are Thursday. And yeah, I think we got all that stuff right there. Let me see what else is going on over here. The Fed meetings today, so we'll see what time that is. I'm not exactly sure. Europe markets rises, earnings in focus, and the Nasdaq futures rises. Tech rebounds ahead of Fed. So yeah, the Fed is today, and the European stocks hit all-time high. Fed expected to hold rates, so European stocks have been cruising over there. And so, yeah, you got to just watch and see if they're going to pull back, when things get to them all-time highs. They like to pull down. So we'll have to check that out. What's going on the scanner? That LGCL, that Lucas is moving. That SXTP, we looked at it last night. That's running up a little bit, trying to run up. SLXN, EVTV, we were very early on that with the laptop travel list. FFIE, oh, let's look at BHAT after they had the delisting yesterday. It's down to 4 cents, hitting that bottom. And honestly, it looks a little better off of that. So I mean, it's crazy to say that, but it's crazy that I could even dip even further down. And let's see. I think they'll probably try to get the notice to get the extension, and that's when you'll see it get popping up there. So it could run down there for a little longer. It is trying to set back up, so I'll keep an eye on BHAT. Could be a great opportunity after that dip. Unfortunately, it was at 6. Now it's at 4, and but it could be a great opportunity for a lot of people. And Nvidia's down here. That TNXP's up some more this morning, and that thing's running up into the top. We were early on that. CRKN is down, and we looked at MGOL. That Acon took a big dip right there, so that's down. And Rhyme, that is down just a hair, but we'll see that. Let me open that up and see what it's doing right here. B Hat and Rhyme. And yeah, that one's just kind of trying to bottom out. I think it's crawling up unless they throw a offering or something crazy out there. It's trying to set up, and again, it's hard to trust any of these penny stocks. They're all crazy right now. BLRX is trying to move. And how about that GVH is moving right there? And what else is here? That LICN, didn't they have like a reverse split or an offering yesterday? Something ridiculous. I forget, an offering, yeah, an offering the other day, and then today something, but it's nothing to make it pop. So there you go with that. Let me see if anything's going on over here with the volume. EVTV, the ones we looked at, GVH is run up there already. UCAR's way down there. We were looking at that. It had run up, and now it's way down. So keep an eye on that UCAR. And let's look at MGOL. We looked at that, and that PWM. We looked at all these guys too. So nothing really different that we didn't see. And yeah, it's just a little flat. Most of the market, Microsoft's flat, Nvidia and Apple are a little red with Tesla, and then Google, Meta, and Amazon are up. So, like I said, the Fed is speaking today. I'm not exactly sure what time that goes down, but that'll be at some point today. And let's see what else is going on. Let me see what's happening on StockTwits real quick and what's trending over there. Um, that BABA, is that still up some? Yeah, it's up another $3, looking really good. That ASML. Um, Starbucks is still up. Remember, we were looking at that last night and it was looking pretty good. That ran up into the top. Reddit was looking good last night. And what's PL? Let's see what that one is. Planet Labs. We were looking at this aerospace and defense. It did get into the top there. It ran up a little bit, so keep an eye on that one. And let's look, is EJH trying to run? That's still up a penny, just a little bit flat right there. Let me see in the morning, EJH here. And it doesn't look too bad. Is that today's date? Let me see. 29th, yeah, 83 to 91. It's at 86, so I would say it looks pretty healthy to try to run up a little bit more there. So keep an eye on that one. And let's see anything else. I think we got everything there. So, yeah, I think I got everything that I can see anyway. So there we go with that. And FOMC is the Fed meeting. Thank you very much there. Luis Rodriguez. So at 2 p.m. So that looks like it's the Fed meeting. So perfect. Thank you. So it's later on in the afternoon. So things could just be running around here, and we'll keep an eye on things. Let me look at our crypto report and see what's going on over there. See if that's looking any better today. It is looking a little bit better. It looks like Bitcoin's at 102, 102,733. Ripple's at 310, and Solana's at 231. It looks like Doge is at 32. Chainlink's at 2350. And let's take a look and see what these bad boys are doing. Let me see, jump in here on the app and see what's happening with crypto real quick. And Bitcoin is at 102. And let's see, it's looking a little bit better. Like I said, that 50's underneath of it. It is looking a little bit better now. And maybe it'll get tried to get curled up. They look like they still have to set up here. Ethereum's at 3,126. And I'm telling you, Ethereum's down. It's setting up a base down here. So it's going to be just kind of setting up as that 50 curls down. The 200's under it. But that 50's curling down on it. Ripple's at what, 308? What did this say? 310. Um, Whatever. It's the same difference. Ripple still looks like it wants to get ripping somewhat. Yeah, it could curl down and starting to try to curl back up. Not completely, but I could see it trying to. I think it looks really good right there. Ripple should continue its way up. Solana's at 230. This says, I don't know what the app's talking about or the things talk, this site. What I'm looking at, that Coin Gecko. I refreshed it, and that's the prices it's saying, 102. And I don't know what the heck's going on. This is usually pretty accurate, but whatever. Solana does look like it bottomed out, trying to make that base. It had curled down. I mean, they could still pull back down a little bit further here. That 50's underneath of it, and it could, or it could just try to make that base here, which would be much better, as it would mean that 230 would be its kind of low, unless it took a nice dip and rip. So then that would be moving up to like the 300 range next time. Cardano's at 92. And let's see, it did pull back. It's trying to make a base right there. And again, these things aren't exactly looking great. Cardano is getting curled down by that 50. So unless it pops up over it, it could get pushed down right there. And Cardano's at 92 right there. And Doge is at 32. And let's see what it's up to real quick. Another one looks like it bottomed out, curled down, and again could still get pushed down there. So they all have, most of them have that 50 over top of them curling down, and they could still pull back a little bit. So that is what crypto looks like. We'll see. Bonk is down there. We already know. Don't even really have to look at it. You know which one looked good? That WIF. That bounced up this morning. We were looking at it last night. Bonks actually looks like it could be trying to bottom out. Yeah. Bonk actually might be a good one. We'll look at it because it looks like it could be bottoming out there. But that WIF, that was looking good. It bounced back up like 20 cents. Remember, we were looking at it last night saying it had bottomed out there, and it did. It did try to bounce. It did bounce up. So that is your WIF. And let's look at that ETF 500. And that one did pull back a little bit. It's at 0.02323, but that could be its like little bottom, and that would be great. It did pop up there, and a little bit of base right here. It was trying to make that base right around 3. It pulled back, obviously. The rest of crypto was, so that pulled back with it a little bit, but still held its weight for sure. And if it builds its base right here, it's going to really get moving, guys. So it's not much further off that 3 cents. So ETF 500 not looking bad either. So there you go. I would say we got a good look at everything for our pre-market. And yeah, we'll see what's going on. A lot of earnings going on. What's that Wolf doing? WOLF, Wolf Speed. That one's up 3 cents. They have earnings. And this one actually is looking good, Luis Rodriguez, to set up, huh? WOLF. I would say that's looking pretty good to try to curl up right there. Here's a couple we wrote down. RNAZ. That's down 97 cents and trying to pull back. It was run up yesterday in the top. I said check it out for a momentum play. Moderna's down too, and we were looking at that last night for a momentum play, and they have earnings coming up. It looks like a little bit of pullback after it ran up. Couldn't keep that momentum right there. SYM, that Symbotic is up, and that thing's trying to set up off the MACD. It looks like IBM, that was trying to move. It's up 21 cents. Um, let's see, JYD, what was that? A China company. It's just in the top there, went flat. It could move, honestly. Look at this today. JYD and MDB. What's that up to? Oh, we looked at that. Remember that was on our list from last night. That's where Luis Rodriguez. I remember them letters. I just didn't know when we looked at it. It was last night. OMGA. This one's down 3 cents, just setting up right there. And that HAO had run up yesterday off the split. And that one's just down a little bit. So, again, these things are not keeping multi-day runners, even with momentum. The momentum ones are like the big cappers. A lot of these other ones just don't keep that momentum. It's crazy, and especially the penny ones. They're not keeping them at all. And so that's what the market looks like. And there you go, everybody. I would say that's a good little pre-market. We got our Jolie's jumpers and our laptop lowdowns, our crypto, our SPY, our big caps, everything else we were looking at. And I'll post up the video for today's live show. Check out the YouTube. Everything's all updated. There's even some high on Wall Streets I hadn't update. I hadn't uploaded. Like I said, I send them over for the cannabis coast to coast and that show. So I don't always put them up, but I'll put them up all the time now. Keep that updated, everything going right, and as we keep cruising and things, we'll find the nice whatever setting up nice and what our nice opportunities are, and we'll nail them. So I'll keep an eye on things. Again, a lot of earnings starting up, so it kind of throws things off, but they're great to look at right after earnings because you can get a good idea. Not even a good idea. You can see if they had either dipped. If they dipped, they're perfect, and if they run up, they run up. But they're really hard to look at, and you can see which one did one of them, Lockheed Martin, was it yesterday? Pulled back. It's yeah, after their earnings yesterday, and it has like a green A. I don't know if they were bad, good, whatever. I don't look at it, but yeah, that pulled back to the support line, and that'll probably be a good setup. So that was really good. Went into earnings and got crushed down there. So a lot of them do it, and that's why I don't want to mess with the earnings so much. But we'll play right around them. So there you go, everybody. Greatly appreciate you guys hanging out for pre-market. As always, thank you, Asian Jolie, for your Jolie's jumpers and laptop travel for your laptop lowdowns, and have fun at your wedding. He posted a picture. That place is beautiful. I forget where he said he was, but it looks crazy right there. So check out that picture. And Green Thumbs and MS is there, and Jay Kratz, Luis Rodriguez. Thanks for always sending great ones in. And East Coast Beach Girl, and who is that? Bob H is there, and Dusty's on, and how is everybody? Renew, Bong Chan, Sanai, Dark Horse, and Tesserine, Zach, Joseph B, and so many others. Thank you, everybody, for hanging out. Greatly appreciate it. I'll keep you guys posted. I'll be checking it out. Again, the Fed meeting's at 2, and a lot of earnings coming up. So just could be a little bit of a flatness and not too crazy. We'll get the setups as they pop up. So I'll keep you guys posted. Let me know if you guys are looking at anything today, and be sure to trade smart. Lock in those profits as always. And goodbye, good luck. I'll see you later, and have a great day, everybody.